okay.
I'm like, you know
We're
what?
going with it.
I do it every time because I think our little witty banter back and forth will make like a good intro every now and then.
There's been some good ones, right?
Yeah, it's like
Like
those.
this week. It's you know, the Browns' 5th preseason game is going to be happening
I hope not. We're
because
gonna
the
get.
NFL doesn't care about an actual good game.
Oh, we'll get into that soon.
I'm a little frustrated. Yeah.
Well, hello and welcome to the DukNilla NFL Cast, Week 14 edition. Could be Week 15. I don't know really what we're at right now. What do you? I know we just had Week 14, but does this count as Week 15?
I don't know. We're a day late than normal, right? So
today is what I would call a crusty day. I'm not feeling it. It has nothing to do with you
we're
beating up on me.
We're both just having a rough. I mean, my daughters are sick, throwing up all night.
Never good.
It's been a lack of sleep in the last night. That's for sure. So dealing with it all day. So yeah, I know you're dealing with stuff too, and we wanted to get this out there though. So
absolutely,
we're gonna plug through it.
Yeah, and we apologize for not being there on Tuesday. I know some of you look out for us on Tuesday to be there. We didn't. We had things pop up. We didn't get to it, but we got to it today, and we'll be uploading it probably immediately tonight. So you will enjoy that content first thing Thursday morning. You'll see it pop up. You're probably listening to it right now on a Thursday morning, and you're gonna already because you keep track of the points, and that Duck's catching up. He's only 2 games behind now.
Wait.
Feeling good, looking good. Those numbers are way too close for me to like.
You were up by how much at one time?
I believe 6. Yeah, I think I got 6 as my high.
2?
Just 2.
I skunked you this week?
Yeah, oh, you did skunk me.
After all my talk.
You're a big goose egg for me.
I've been talking all week about it. I mean, every week about this. I'm going to skunk you. I'm going to beat you. And it never happens.
Yeah, it never happens, but this week.
The boy who cried wolf. It actually happened this time, folks.
Oh, you got it big time this time.
I needed that.
With that said, I would like to get into our best ball league that we've been talking about pretty much every other week. And how do you think we did, Duck? Do you think we made it?
Nah, man, no.
Well, I didn't blow your phone up, so.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, we didn't make it.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, we took a pretty big leap.
We got 4th place. Yeah, we waited a little. I mean, every time we went to go get a QB, it was like they were swapped from our feet, and we just didn't make it. But I did place in 4 of my leagues, so I'm quite happy. One $20 league, which is funny because I have Stafford as my quarterback. Felt pretty good. Also, I have OBJ on that team too, so feeling pretty.
Last week. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel this week. We'll get into that with the COVID protocol, but we'll get into that here. Let's go right into the week. Let's see how our teams did that we picked and go through the games as well. First up, we have the Steelers losing to the Vikings. This game was actually a blowout, and then just magically the Vikings tried to throw this game.
Oh, yeah. I stopped watching this game.
I think everybody at one point just turned the TV off. Right, I know I had in our best ball league that we had personally, we needed Najee Harris to do like nothing, and he wasn't doing nothing, so it felt great.
Right.
And then they start to come back, and they just ooh. And I would like to add for a note, Chase Claypool, go get some help, kid.
Yeah.
This kid needs some help. Like you're talented, but you're celebrating on a 2-minute drill with 36 seconds left on the clock. Like, dude.
Right.
And then going to go out and yell at a lineman that he interrupted you and made you fumble the ball.
Issues.
Unbelievable. Other than that, in regards to these two teams, I have to say Pittsburgh surprised me. Minnesota, I don't know what to think of this team even more. We both projected them to win, but in the manner they did it, like if they would have dominated this game, I like they did dominate this game. I don't know what to think of this team even more because you almost blew the game as well.
Well, there was another team that we'll talk about later on too that did the same exact thing and almost blew it at the end.
Yeah, we're talking about them.
Dalvin Cook. Well, I guess there's a few of them actually. Then, if that's the case, because Dalvin Cook, he had a great game, over 200 yards rushing in this game, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It just
welcome back, Dalvin Cook.
I think a lot of teams when they're up by so many points, they got this mentality that we're good. We're okay. You can't do that when you have 2 separate halves because Steelers came out 2 separate teams.
Oh, absolutely.
They're crap in the first half, and they were really good to the end on the second half. So, and you can't do that on a team like that. Ben Roethlisberger of old, it doesn't really matter. He still got it. He still can do it in spurts. So they got lucky. Vikings did on this one for sure.
Yep. Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys narrowly defeating the Washington football team. I took Washington in this one. This was another game that the team almost blew it. Cowboys almost blew it. They were dominating first half and just let the game slip away. Box score, stat wise, Zeke. I mean, I think it's time to say Zeke's not your main guy anymore, right?
Yeah, he's having a rough couple years.
Something's just not right with him. And
I don't know if it's injury wise or what's going on, but Pollard is kind of becoming their main guy, isn't he? So,
I mean, Pollard didn't even play this game, but Corey Clement Corey Clement out-touched Zeke, which was big surprise there. Washington though, I'm more curious to see the side of the ball. Adam Humphries getting some. He got 7 targets in this game, which is a pretty big deal. They really kept Terry McLaurin pretty locked up, but I've been an Humphreys fan for a while, so seeing him get some targets has nothing to do with that I have him in 2 best ball leagues. Absolutely nothing. But hey, Washington, keep it up, please. Score wise though, like these two teams, does this write off our possibility of Washington making the playoffs? They're still holding on. They're right now the 3 seed. Minnesota's behind them.
Yeah, I think they still have a chance. You can't really put anything away in that division right now. They're just.
What's crazy? I want you to look
up in the air.
I want you to listen to these teams: Washington, Minnesota, Philly, Atlanta, New Orleans, all 6 and 7, all tied. You could have 1 week where any of those teams could be in that spot, and then Carolina and Seattle are 5 and 8. They're in that hunt as well. I mean, we could put New York, Chicago at 4 and 9 in there, but I think it's safe to say those teams are out. They're not statistically, but we'll say they're out. Seattle and Carolina, based off of how they're playing, I would say they're out. But I mean,
we would have to look and see what games, key games they've lost and won too, though.
Yeah, we'd have to really look at their future schedule.
So, yeah,
But I'm gonna put them in the hunt for right now.
If they lost in their division or not, too.
Yeah, I'm willing to put Seattle and Carolina in the hunt, where I'm not, even though they're not statistically out. The Giants and Chicago. The San Fran is 7 and 6. The Rams, which we'll get into, are 9 and 4. So really, they're all battling for that 2 and 3 wild card seed. San Fran could, you could tank, and you can see other teams. You're only a game and a half ahead. Well, we'll get into that here in a little bit. Next up, we have the Titans and Jags. Both of us took the Titans. Pretty decisive win here. Nothing really to see, Nothing.
Jags 8 yards rushing the whole game.
Yeah, I think the bigger story is, can we... Oh, also, very huge... hold on. Let me go back here. I think the bigger story for this game is really... what is going... Can we fire the Jags coach yet?
There was controversy about it, but it looks like he's going to hold on to this.
Marvin Jones. Okay, so Marvin Jones, very good guy. Started in Cincinnati, came to Detroit. Big time guy for Detroit. Good locker room presence, savvy veteran, good signing for the Jags. Quickly became Trevor Lawrence's number 1 guy, the guy he looked for on the field. early in preseason, we were talking he was getting 11 to 15 targets a game. We drafted him. I drafted him in a couple best ball leagues. High hopes. Beginning of the season, great standout player. Started to dissolve here in late games, but he came out against the head coach and just started giving it to him. Game's disgusting, really. This head coach does. I feel like, I'm not one to really criticize NFL coaches, but this guy seems like a hack. He can't control the locker. He can't control he can't control his own personal life.
This is Urban Meyer. Yeah, he's had stuff in the past. Been an amazing coach in college, both in Miami and Ohio
college.
State.
I mean, Chip Kelly could test. College does not translate to pros.
I know. I'm getting to that point. Is that he was great then, but very few coaches can come from college to the NFL and become great right away. Is there a potential of him doing good next year if he stays there? Sure. We've seen that before. We've seen teams flip-flop and their records and become really good. But there is a lot of baggage. There's a lot of controversy outside of that the facility with Urban Meyer, and it's sad to see. I really liked him as a coach in Ohio State, and there's even some stuff in Miami back in the day that happened with when he was coaching Hernandez, even though he wasn't on a team then. But so it's sad to see some stuff going on there. So hopefully they can something. I don't know what's gonna happen. I wouldn't be surprised if he got fired, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed there either. So
yeah. Moving on. Next up, we had the Seattle Seahawks facing the Houston Texans. I think this is a pretty no-talk game where the only big news coming out of Seattle is, you had Rashad Penny starting at running back, getting 16 carries, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, a long of 47. A lot of people, fantasy-wise, really looking at who was going to be that number one back when Chris Carson's gone. I think he solidified it here. 8.6 yard, average per carry is pretty nice here. But again, fancy Houston Texans, who are pretty sure are tanking their season, hoping the Lions lose a game or win another game. I think they're praying. Like, come on, slip up. Other than that, we both projected Seattle to win this game. I think Seattle will go under 500. I'm still solid behind that. They're not running the table this year. And this was just an easy win week for them. Nothing really big. Next up again, surprisingly, I took the Raiders here as surprise sleeper. This was another one of my big losses here. Raiders getting just demolished by the Chiefs. Raiders just they look like hot trash in this game in particular. I say that with the Raiders' history, they're going to come out and win this next game, and they're going to blow out the team they're playing or something just to prove me wrong. The Chiefs, though, I think I don't know what's going on with, if you're in a fantasy position, this run game, I don't know what's going on. And then even Mahomes, still, I'm not sold on Mahomes. I'm gonna call this out, and the Mahomies are gonna hate it, but I think Mahomes in a couple years is gonna be this Joe Flacco washed up guy. I'm gonna call him a Cam Newton. I'm gonna I think the better comparison is Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. Now he's playing for the Jets as the second string to the second string. I'm just not sold. I'm not sold anymore. His fundamentals on throwing the ball are hot trash.
Yeah.
He can win games by making miracle throws, but we saw it last year when he can't run and teams go after him, he's screwed. And I've said this multiple times per show that running QBs, as you age, you have to be a precision passer. And with fundamentals like that, I don't see the long-term effects. He does too many sidearm throws. It's like he's too used to it. It was a big criticism of Matthew Stafford when he came into the league that he was doing too many of those, coming from that baseball background. And I'm gonna.
That was the biggest thing through scouting reports, right? Was inconsistent in the way he threw the ball, and it's gotten himself in a lot of trouble, but it's also gotten himself out of trouble too. So,
I will say it even got him a ring.
Mm-hmm.
I think he took the league by storm with his unique ability to be able to move the ball. His pocket presence was amazing that year. Decision making was amazing, and I don't think the league was ready. But the league is a fast learning league, and they caught up, and it's proven on tape. Well, I mean, we'll see. I would love to be proven wrong. I just trust myself in that analysis. Next up, we had the Saints really coming and making themselves right by beating up on the Jets. Jets are another one of those teams. I'm pretty sure they're hoping for the Lions and Texans to win some more games so they can sneak into that first pick. This game really not much to talk about other than Zach Wilson coming back. Threw 202 yards, no touchdowns, but he at least looked okay. He didn't look like hot garbage. He just looked like trash. New Orleans, though, I feel great. I mean, Taysom Hill didn't, he got a rushing touchdown. He looks, I mean, anything's good when you face the Jets, right? I don't think this is something to be celebrating too much about, but it keeps the Saints in, playoff competitiveness.
They're a one-dimensional team right now. That's the problem with them. So
100%. They don't have that dynamic throwing game.
Alvin Kamara's back and doing well, but when you can't rely on him and Taysom Hill running the whole time and winning playoff games, they'll make playoffs. Sure, they could, but I don't see them going past anything past the first round. There's no chance.
This team is an injury away. Taysom Hill's a running QB. Again, if he stays healthy, he'll be great. But just like any running QB, if he gets hurt, you're playing your backup.
We saw that this week, right? Coming up in a couple games, we'll talk about that, but for sure.
Next up, we have the Panthers and the Falcons here. Oh, we both took the Panthers, man.
The Falcons are surprising me right now. I told you at the beginning of the year I was kind of not sold on Matt Ryan anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they're surprisingly still in contention.
Yeah.
Close contention at that.
Yep.
They really want to prove us wrong. Cordell Patterson is really coming on.
He's carrying this team right now.
Oh, 100%. This is Cordell Patterson, like,
where is
on his fifth team.
I mean? Yeah, right?
Like, listen, I was drafted by the Vikings, one of 3 first-round picks. I'm the best one.
Maybe he found his role, or what. We don't even know what his role is. It's just a little bit of everything. So.
Cam Newton
he's done just about everything.
Cam Newton, on a side note, looking like pretty hot trash to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was
2 fumbles, lost one interception, got benched for Walker later in the game. It was real bad, real bad.
Those old antics. That's where he's back to.
Yeah, couldn't move on. His stories are good. I really wanted him to, and I still hope he can pull this off. But it's looking less and less likely. But it's such a good story to go back home to Carolina, to have this happy reunion where maybe he can win the games. They re-sign him, big contract, get him as the starter again, and hometown hero. Just not there, That personality might be too big. Next up, we had the Browns and the Ravens here.
This is when I was talking about the game where the backup quarterback had to come in and actually play. Browns were dominating first half and almost gave this game away in the end. Lamar Jackson injured shortly, in the second quarter, I think it was. Beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah, we talked about this too
when he got tackled. But yeah, we did talk about this. Your main quarterback, one like this specifically that runs and does most of it and can throw. He's not the best at it, but his speed is what gets him, gets this team wins. And we saw that they when he was out, that's when the Browns started dominating. The Browns just kind of faltered in the second half and didn't do anything. He didn't even score in the second half.
Yeah, I think too. Another thing that can happen is when your QB does get hurt, you can see the backups come in, and sometimes the backups can have a pretty good game, but that moment teams get film on him, he's done. More than likely done.
Oh yeah.
When you watched Hudley play, he threw the tight end a lot. A lot. I mean, with that said, though, tight ends, Mark Andrews, 11 for 11, 115 yards and 1 touchdown. Oh, my God. He caught every pass that went to him. That's impressive. Ravens, though, how do we feel about Cleveland and the Ravens on the playoff picture?
Both teams.
I know we didn't talk about the playoffs on the AFC side, which we will get into, but go ahead.
I'm a little leery with the Browns. They have a lot going against them, even upcoming game. They have potential. Everything that the Browns needed to happen happened this week, right? Mm-hmm. The Ravens lost, Cincinnati lost, the Bills lost. So all these teams lost and gave them an opportunity to get up there. They need to win all of our in-division games.
I mean, they are only 1 game behind. If Baltimore loses, they win. They are the number 1 seed in their division.
Right, which is insane.
I think they have it. If let me rephrase that. If COVID cannot kick the Browns down,
that's the major.
I think they got it. Because I don't believe in the Ravens. I don't. I like if Lamar Jackson's out any time or limited, that's it. That's their entire team.
Right.
And Hudley's film is out there now, and I don't trust him. It's not a good sign. Let's get to the playoff picture real quick, though. To note, let's see here. Kansas City and Baltimore are leading their division, but they could lose this going into, I want to, it's to note, keeping track of the teams I'm about to name. In first, second, and third in the wild card race, you have the Chargers, the Colts, and Buffalo. Now, at 7 and 6, you have the Colts, Buffalo, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Denver all at 7 and 6. That's a whopping math, James. 5 teams at 7 and 6. I mean, any one of these teams is in. And that's all of them. All of them are in. Personally, I have favorites. Like I don't see Denver. But the rest of those 4 teams, I could give any one of them that chance. It is important to note that Pittsburgh at 6-1 is very close, as well as the Raiders and Dolphins at 6-7 are still in it and not far off.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a deep field here. We could definitely write off the Jets officially now, and Houston and the Jags. They are out of contention. But, I mean, a lot of teams here to kind of pick from. But it's important to note teams like Kansas City and Baltimore, yes, they're leading their division now, hosting a home game, but they're only a game away from not. Cleveland could go from the number 4 in the wild card hunt to number 1 in their division, and that puts Baltimore at the bottom.
Right.
Crazy to think that. But
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on still. So we just.
Mm-hmm. It's exciting this football. This is the kind of football that really gets me excited. It's because you have these different scenarios that play out. Teams, you need that win. When we talk about first round buys, this year only 1 team gets a buy, same as last year.
It's a big game for the Browns. Mm-hmm. If they don't postpone this game, I even tweeted this because it's bugging me so much that I feel that a lot of this, and maybe I'm the only one in the world thinking this, but I feel that some of this is purposely happening. Scripted, as I've said before, and I tweeted, I'm like, the NFL is becoming the next WWE. when it comes scripted to certain teams getting in and certain
Here's the
teams
thing.
getting picks and stuff. I'm gonna hold with that because that's just the feeling I have with a lot of these close teams and the way things are going on this year. When it was totally different last year, when last year we were postponing games and moving them to different times, and now I just was reading it. They're not talking about moving anything. They're not doing anything with Saturday's game.
Here's what I'm going to say
with Goodell. So I'm
here's
a
what I'm
little
gonna
leery
say.
about what's going on.
I think you're wrong. I don't agree.
Nah.
But what I do think's happening is I think the league is taking a very political stance, which I don't agree with, and that's that they are coming down hard on unvaccinated players, which means that they have to come down hard on all players. And when there are positive COVID tests, they're coming down even harder. Which, by the way, one of your lovely Browns, Higgins, got a negative test result, a false positive. He got a false positive and missed the game because of it.
Yeah. So what do they do about that? You can't do anything about it.
No,
that's the frustrating part.
And I fully believe, I really do. I believe it's fully political. I think it has everything to do with politics and control.
Politics to me is the same thing as saying in control, right? You're saying in control, and politics is the same as being scripted.
I don't think they're scripting teams to get in and not. It doesn't make for good. It doesn't make good TV. It doesn't make This is a baseball. I don't.
WWE, look, WWE is making millions doing this. So
no, they're losing. They're losing in ratings to up and coming A&W ragtag team of ex-employees.
Yeah, because they made
which is a way
choices.
better show, by the way.
But it's the same thing. It's same script, acting, drama, soap operas, whatever.
No, get out of here! No, you're wrong, and it's fall.
It may not come out for years, but you just remember this.
If it does, I'll give you the mad kudos. But for now, you're a crazy man. Okay.
Right. I'll take it.
You're a crazy man. But we've all been that crazy man in the past. I'm that crazy man where I fully think this is totally about control. They can't go back. They can't. Once you make a hard stance like they did against COVID, you can't go back. Even though they're proven false. They're proven. You're telling me the difference between if you're vaccinated and you get COVID, you have to miss 2 days and you have to get two negative tests after that within 48 hours. If you're unvaccinated and you test positive for COVID, it's a minimum 10 days.
Yeah.
When it's proven, you can still carry and get it if you're vaccinated. And in some instances, like the new virus, it's vaccinated people that are getting it way worse.
100%.
Which is ridiculous. And then we're silencing voices that come out with proof about it or talk about it. Whole different show, but so yes. When it comes to football, I just want to watch sports.
Well, we can't.
We're not having people.
We're watching
on the freaking field die from COVID.
These guys were working at Kmart when it just closed, and they're working at they're greeters at Walmart coming in and playing on the practice squad and now starting in the NFL because half our team is gone.
Hey, Kurt Warner came off the grocery store shelves, okay? Kurt Warner is a hero.
Once in a lifetime.
An amazing story, and I can't wait to see the movie coming out about him. When I saw the preview for it, I was...
Did you? I haven't seen it yet.
We saw it at the drive-thru. When we went to the drive-thru to see the new Ghostbusters, we saw it. Okay. I was absolutely in love.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I was right there where he was at, and where he played for the Iowa Barnstormers. Went to a game there.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
Now moving on. Next up, we had the Chargers playing against the Chargers. Chargers playing against the Chargers. Chargers playing against the Giants.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Right.
The Chargers won 37-21. Saquon Barkley coming back looking pretty sparkly like. I was quite impressed by him. Mike Glennon played this game. Surprised by how he played, really. Justin Herbert looked like Justin Herbert we wanted.
You're surprised by how Mike Glennon played.
I'm surprised because he didn't play as terribly as I expected him to.
I mean, bad enough to where you didn't win the game. So
Yeah, bad enough, but I mean, you still were competitive. Like, this game should be on paper a blowout. The Giants can't stay healthy, and that has nothing to do with COVID, which is way worse. But the Chargers look like the Chargers. It's still a team I don't know how to rank. I don't know where to put them. I don't know where to pick in and week out. But it's easy to pick them against the Giants because it's the Giants.
Right.
Next up, we have my Detroit Lions losing to the Denver Broncos. Very, very good tribute at the beginning of this game. Demaryius Thomas really brought a tear in my eye. First play of the game, they only put 10 men on the field. Demaryius being the 11th. Took the delay of game a penalty. The Lions declined. Such an amazing opening to a game.
Absolutely.
Really good tearjerker moment. God bless him. In a better place. But whew. Honestly, I'm glad the Broncos won. Giving him that much needed affair there. Now I will say this: the Broncos, I wrote them off earlier. This could be the catalyst they need. You could say this event, which is very tragic, could be this uplifting moment for them, and maybe this is where they kind of sneak into the playoffs by using this as momentum. With that said, you played the Detroit Lions, so I mean, not the. We talked about the Lions are supposed to be this really competitive team that are in it every game. COVID has struck this team.
Oh yeah.
Only one other team is as close to the Lions and COVID issues, and that's the Browns.
Now it is, right?
But I think the Lions are fully impacting where they don't want to win a game, so they are purposely putting people on the list so that they can lose the games.
They're playing, and they're playing for that first round pick, first overall pick. So. This was a good, it was a good game for Melvin Gordon. If we see some consistency with him, I mean, like you said, this team's, riddled with injuries and COVID and whatnot as well. And so he was able to run all over him a little bit. But if you see some from him coming out of this, and it's not all about Bridgewater throwing and passing, and Javonte Williams had a good game too. We see that again. This team's going to be hard to beat for sure.
Absolutely.
They're going to stop that run.
Next up, we had an actual spectacular game. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the 49ers. 49ers winning in overtime. Complete.
Another. We forgot to say which ones I won throughout this time. Why'd you forget this time?
You've won every one we differed on. This is the fourth one.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, this is your fourth one.
I'm just making sure you remember. Beating you had this week.
This is a pretty bad beating. Kittle looked amazing. 50 targets, 13 receptions, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. My one best ball league that I'm in for my $20 league, guess who I have? I have Kittle and Gronkowski. Ooh. I'm feeling hot. Ooh. I feel good.
That is nice.
But Kittle looked amazing.
Back and forth here. I mean, both quarterbacks played well. Didn't have interceptions. Didn't turn the ball over. Well, interception wise, Garoppolo did fumble the ball one time.
Yeah, he did fumble. No loss though.
Yeah. Joe Burrow fumbled one too, and didn't lose it. So it's it was a good game. It was definitely a good one to watch. My shout out to my father-in-law. He's a huge San Fran fan. And they live in Columbus, and they actually drove down. Him and a buddy drove down to this game into Cincinnati, so he got to watch this game. And so it was pretty cool to see some of the posts on Facebook about it. So he's been a lifelong San Fran fan, and it was good to see them play a good game. And this was a good thing for the Browns too. Being a Browns fan, this was a big win. So,
oh yeah, big time win. We talked about both these teams are playoff contention. It's gonna be interesting to see how the year plays out. It'll be more interesting to see how we pick because both these teams, even though Cincinnati lost, it's a good loss. They look good.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, speaking of good games, my God, Another overtime thriller. The Buffalo Bills losing to the Bucs 33-27. Brady just looking. This is another game where at half the Bucs were dominating and they just let it slip. But man, there's so many good things to talk about this game. One thing to note: Josh Allen, 12 rushing attempts, 109 yards. Talk about putting the team on your shoulders.
Wow. And he threw 2 touchdowns, over 308 yards passing. He did get injured though during this game. He was after his conference he was walking in a boot. I haven't heard anything more about that or like what exactly is going on. I haven't heard any updates, so I don't know if you've heard anything on that.
Not yet, no.
About his play for the next year.
Tom Brady looking good. Leonard Fournette again dominating the touches. Looking like the bona fide stud. Great news. Have him in every best ball league I own. Both these teams, I think they're both playoff teams. I think the Bucs are a deeper playoff team. The Bills, not so much, but very good win for the Bucs. Very heartbreaking loss for the Bills. With that said, next up we have the Packers owning. Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. 47-30.
Oh yeah.
To note, Justin Fields. This game is really what we really want to be talking about. Oh, I will say this: Green Bay having some COVID problems, and also Randall Cobb out for potentially the season, more than likely the whole season. That's a big time veteran player. So these like the Valdez Scanley, Lazard, St. Brown, who didn't even get a target. And Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams obviously the number one guy, but these other guys, Lazard, Scanley, these are the players that need to step up. These are the guys.
Game too, so that was good to see.
Bears though, Justin Fields, 2 interceptions, a fumble. Looked a tiny bit better other than those, but this kid needs some time. That's for sure. That's what I'll say. But I think this experience right now is going to be good. I just think at the beginning of the season, really should have been. He should not have been. It shouldn't even have been a contest for starting. Too many people wanted him to be rushed out there. Use some ridiculous reasoning behind it, and just not letting like actual like facts speak out. You know,
right?
But with that said, another good game.
We're such an instant gratification society now that we
want first round players to start every time, but they shouldn't.
So. No, this was
there will be outliers.
Had another friend go to this game as well. Being I'm in Wisconsin, Western Wisconsin, they went out to this, and it was funny because I saw a video on Facebook of them. They're chanting. I think he actually started it. Chicago sucks, or something like that, and then hundreds of people were started saying it down, walking out of this place, or we own, or whatever it was. It was hilarious.
We own you.
Yeah, so it's so funny to see, but it was good. It's another good game to go to. Definitely two different halves on this again, right? I mean, Chicago started off strong, but just didn't have the energy to get through the game at the end. So.
Last up, Monday Night Football, really good game. Rams Cardinals, shocker to us. We both took the Cardinals here. Rams just putting the league on notice that we're not done yet. We're not. Don't count us out yet. Kyler Murray coming back. I think Kyler Murray's got some rust to shake off. He's a little rusty. I think still looked pretty good in this game. But man, oh man, the Rams came out. OBJ finally looking like a pepper machine. Like Stafford needs to start peppering him.
Right.
And he looked like he was starting to. Stat wise, Kupp still got 15 targets for 13 receptions, 123 yards. Kupp's gonna get those. That's the prototype of who Stafford likes. But Beckham gets 7 targets, 6 catches out of him, 77 yards and a touchdown. Love to see it. Other than that, I'm still not I don't think the Cardinals are done. You know, like this isn't a backbreaking loss. This sucks,
No
but they are
playoff.
not out. Yeah,
They're gonna
they're
lose
not.
out. Yeah.
I'm not taking them out of my top 3. They're still there. The Rams are still in my top 5. You know what? Whoa, pump the brakes. They're in my top 10. I don't know about top 5. I don't know. I'll have to break it down. I don't know if the Rams are my top 5. On paper, they are, but as of late, I can't say they are. With that said, that's the end of our recap for Week 14. That's in the books. With that said, we got to get into the Olduk criticism power rankings of NFL.com.
There we go. Right. I did take a little peek of this. It's not too bad, but you know,
I'm gonna get my lean on now that
there's
it's
some
duck
definitely
time.
changes. Yeah. Right. So 32 Jacksonville. You know, they're at the bottom of the barrel. Even though Detroit's the only team with one win, one win overall. So Houston, it moved up 1 to 31.
I think, and I don't like to comment too much on these teams until we get to the top 10, but I will make an exception for them. I think this has everything to do with their locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Everything to do with who their head coach is.
I mean, it says it right there. College coach with a legendary resume makes the jump to pro on a massive contract and immediately floods the entire organization with a tsunami of toxicity.
And
that right there is a huge. This Dan Hanzus, that's the first thing I've agreed with him.
Yeah. And we even mentioned Trevor Lawrence in here, but I will even go further and say that this could damage Trevor Lawrence's entire career. This could destroy this young kid you drafted. And it's pathetic that we have to sit here and watch it. I mean, I always believe in giving people chances, but I hope he turns his life around. But at the current moment in time, fuck this guy.
Right.
Pardon my French, but I had to get it out.
The Houston 31. We still have the Detroit staying at 30 this week. New York Jets stayed at 29. Carolina Panthers moved back from 25 to 28. I was talking about this when Sam Darnold was there, and he was quarterback, that they were going to continue to move back, but not with Cam Newton. This is
yeah.
I'm not shocked, but I'm shocked, I guess I should say. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, this is Cam of old, and this is what's happening with that team. Giants moved back 3 spots with their loss. Daniel Jones not there, so did Daniel Jones start? No, he wasn't even playing.
No, Mike Glennon started.
That's what I thought. Yeah, Mike Glennon reminds me of a Sam Darnold type of player. I'm not really.
Mike Glennon way worse. I mean, I know you're real low on Sam Darnold, but I dude, Mike Glennon ain't even the same league.
They're all in the same category. They're all bad. Chicago moved up to 26. Las Vegas Raiders moved back again from 21 to 25. They're just continually falling short. iPad. Yeah. iPad. All right. 24 is Atlanta Falcons. They moved up to 4 from 28 to 24, so they're moving up here. They're still in the playoff hunt. I'm a little excited about.
Which is our lowest playoff hunt team here.
Right.
Well, I guess Vegas would technically be.
Yep. I was a little bit. I'm always a little hard on Matt Ryan, but I think he's just had a hard offensive line to keep him up and running. He's kind of not very mobile type of quarterback, and so he needs a line that can protect him for a longer period of time. And I think we're starting to see that a little bit in these last few games. So good for him. I like to see him do well.
On top of that, Calvin Ridley leaving for potentially the season.
Yeah,
he doesn't hurt. You don't have anybody but Cordell Patterson to throw to, who is a journeyman through the league, played for team after team after team, never really finding a home. That's not a good sign.
And he's doing a lot more running too, rushing. So it's a mix of both there. So the Saints moved up 3 spots to 23. Denver moved up to 22, and so they're still in the playoff hunt as well. Pittsburgh moved back 3 spots from 18 to 21. They're still in the playoff hunt. But they've lost some key games that might make it harder for them. But I think if they win out, they still have potential. Really do. I'm not giving up on Ben as much as I very much dislike the Steelers. Ben is still, to the day he's not quarterbacking anymore, then I'll believe it. But I still think he has potential. And coaching, they got great coaching staff there. That's been, I don't know, they've been above 500 for how many years? I don't think they've, and how many playoffs? Been to the playoffs many years in a row. So, Seahawks moved up 2 spots to 20, so they're in front of the Steelers, and they're 5-8. That's a little bit of a drastic change, don't you think? A 5-8 team in front of a 6-6-1. I don't know if I'd do that. That's a little crazy. Philadelphia Eagles are up at 19. They're 6-7, and they're Gardner Minshew. We didn't even talk about him, did we? Because was this his first game that he played when he won that, or was that the last week?
That was last week. We talked about that last week.
Oh, did they have a bye or something this week then?
They had a bye this week.
Okay. There we go.
I know we get excited about the Minshew.
That, right? Yeah, man. That stash, man. Washington, it moved back 1 to 18. Vikings moved up 2 to 17. Baltimore moved from 12 to 16. They moved back 4 spots, and they're 8-5. Not even in the top 15 right now. Browns moved up 1 to 15.
That's gonna make you feel good. 16. The Browns are above the Ravens.
Oh yeah, and the Steelers. That's huge. I love seeing that. That's that. Even if we don't go to playoffs, if we can stay above them two Yahoos, I'll be happy. That's all that matters. Miami Dolphins moved up 1 to see. I don't know if I agree with this either. Maybe because their division is easy or something. Moved to 6-7. They moved up. They're 14, but they're still above Baltimore and the Browns, which have a better record. I don't know. I kind of given up on the concept of what he's going through and what he's talking about with these picks. I wouldn't have done that. Bengals moved back 2 from 11 to 13. I think that's good. They moved out from that. Tennessee, a team that's 9-4, is not even in the top 10. How do you feel about that? 9-4.
I gotta look at the playoff. They're the number 2 seed.
Playoff picture
in the playoff picture.
But you have teams 7-6 ahead of you.
They are what? Let me look. They're a game and a half behind being the number 1 seed. I really have to look at who's above. All right, I already looked at one team that's above them that I don't agree with.
Yeah, we're going to get there right now, right?
I probably don't agree with this at all.
49ers moved up 3 spots to rank 11, and they're 7-6.
Big win. Big win.
Yeah, big win, but
probably not this high.
9-4, okay? Buffalo moved back 3. They moved almost out of the top 10.
I think this is a little drastic. I might think there are some teams that probably deserve to be ahead of them. Quite a few, probably, and maybe it's 9. But as right now, I feel like it's too low.
In the playoff picture, is it just because they're still winning their division? Not winning their division. They're actually
they're not winning their division.
No, they're still in the wild card spot. Because if this was, because the Browns are the same rank as them, right? They're both 7-6. So is Cincinnati. And they're that many spots out.
Okay, maybe this is deserving then. Maybe I feel I'm too high on Buffalo, but I think I am. I still think I'm too high on Buffalo, or I'm still riding the high from the beginning of the season and how dominating they looked.
Yeah, no, I don't think they should be in the top 10 at all.
Wow.
If anything, Tennessee should be in that spot.
Oof.
If we're going by game-wise and win-losses, wins are what get you to the playoffs. They're 9-4, and you have a 7-6 team that's ahead of them. 2 of them. 3 of them, actually, because number 9 is Los Angeles Chargers, came from 10 to 9. They're 8-5. So they're still in the top 10. They're not in your top 5 like you're talking about. The Colts are 8. They moved from 9 to 8, above the Chargers, above the Buffalo Bills that you're a little bit higher on, San Fran, Tennessee Titans. I mean, so we have a lot of teams that are we're seeing some good stuff from the Colts, but should they be ahead of all those teams?
I mean, the Colts beat Buffalo, but when we talk about, I'm looking at the Colts wins right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only like good team. Let me tell you the teams that the Colts have beat: Miami, Houston, the Jets, the Jaguars, Houston. The big wins they've gotten are the 49ers and Buffalo. That's it. The rest of that schedule is ugly. Mind you, they lost to Tennessee earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Twice.
Wow. And yet Tennessee is still.
So this, to me, as good as I think the Colts are playing football now, and granted, you played a tight game against Tampa Bay. And coming off of beating Buffalo. So, like, if they beat Tampa there, I'm sold on this. But I'm not seeing it when you just beat the Texans, Jags, and Jets before that. Like, I'm not 100% sold.
Like you said.
Yeah.
I don't. They lost to all the big. They even lost to Seattle.
Yeah, if you look at their losses, like first week, I won't look to you lose to Seattle, but then you lose to the Rams, Titans, Baltimore, Titans, Tampa, big teams.
Mm-hmm.
They just had a bye. This is an important game for them coming up against New England. This is the game. This is. This is the shut up or put up or shut up. Prove to me you're a good team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Dallas Cowboys moved back one spot to 7. Even with their win over Washington, that's had a good streak of wins and doing pretty well. They moved back a spot. The Rams. Los Angeles Rams are 6. They move up 8-2. They're 9-4. I misspoke earlier. I was thinking the Rams were where the Charger spot was. I know you weren't. We were kind of sold on Herbert. We liked him, what he was doing, but they've been an inconsistent team throughout the year. I think that's maybe why they are in that ranking and where they're at. The Rams are still not in the top 5 like you were thinking you wanted or where you thought they would be. So I don't know.
There's one team in the top. I'll say this: they should be 5.
Okay.
They should be 5, and the number 4 team should not be here.
New England Patriots are 5th. They moved from 4 to 5.
And I don't agree with this. Patriots should be higher.
You mean higher as in not in the top 5?
No. Excuse me. I think they should be 4. I think this 4th place team does not belong to be where they're at.
So you think Kansas City shouldn't be 4 is what you're saying?
No, I put Kansas City. Kansas City might not make my top 10. They might be 9 or 8.
I don't agree with that.
They probably are 9 or 8.
Look, they had a rough start of the year.
Rough. It was even their wins have not been the greatest. Even when they win, we have been justifiably critical of them. And I'm predicting it now. They lose their first play. I don't care who they play. I don't care if the Jets magically make the playoffs. They lose that first playoff game. I'll put money. I'll take it to the bank. I don't trust this team against any playoff team. They can beat these crap teams that have like crap defenses, but the playoff team, they're gonna lose every time. Like, hold on. Let's take a look at this real quick. Let's look at their schedule, okay?
I was looking at that now too. So.
All right, look. So week 1, wash week 1. You play Cleveland. You barely beat Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
You lose to Baltimore. That game, right? You lose to the Chargers. You beat Philly. Then you lose to Buffalo. Then you beat Washington. Then you get trounced by Tennessee. Right. Then you narrowly beat the Giants. Then you narrowly beat Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Then you trounce Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You barely beat Dallas. You trounce Denver.
And the Vegas.
And then the Raiders again. Now let's talk about the rest of their schedule. You now go against the Chargers again. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh, who I'll put as a competitive team.
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati, who I'll put money that Cincy will win. Mm-hmm. And then Denver again, which they'll probably win. But what I'm saying is the long-term picture is
playoff contention teams.
Put this team against any of the teams that make the playoffs. I don't see them beating.
They have a tough schedule because every one of these teams
hypothetically, they could beat every one of these teams except for the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to dominate them.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It's in LA.
Out of any of the teams, I think the Bengals have more of a chance to beat them for a bigger score and dominate than the Chargers do.
I mean, Chargers already went to Kansas City and beat them.
Denver, man, they have a tough schedule.
So yeah, I'm not. I don't believe in them. This next team, I totally believe in.
So Cardinals moved back from 2 to 3 after their loss.
Mind you, this is a narrow loss.
Yeah, it was a close game. I would have been okay with them being state packed, but there's other teams that were deserving to move up, and that was Tampa Bay Buccaneers moved from 3 to 2 after their win over the Bills, and then Green Bay is at number 1.
It's Green Bay. I'm not. I mean, I'm in love with Aaron Rodgers at the moment. Losing Randall Cobb.
I'm good with the top 3.
Losing Randall Cobb, I think, is going to be a bigger problem. The thing is with Rodgers is he's so good against adversity that I trust him. I'm sold that I want to see Rodgers in a Lions jersey. When I think I would have never said that in the past. Like this would have been blasphemy. But it'll never happen because the man will never come here. But man could dream, right? I just don't know if they're number 1. I don't know if I see that. All right. With that said, though, it's on. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say before we get it on?
No, we don't need to beat the dead horse on the whole COVID thing. So let's keep moving on.
All right. Well, moving on. We have our weekly pick'ems.
Yes, sir.
Game projections for Week 15. Duck, you beat my, in a lack of better words, my ass.
Woo.
You whooped me.
I needed it.
You made me pick the stick. I brought it to you, and you beat me with it.
I needed it, man. That put me back in the playoff winning contention, bro.
Yeah, you are only 2 games behind.
I was better at my picks last week, okay? I was a little smarter. Didn't go with my gut on everything. I went, more analytical, looking through some more things, and I'm going to do that again. So let's do this.
With that said, you are up first with our first pick. Well, let me rephrase that. Would you like to pick first?
Oh, I'm first. I'll go first.
Okay, you're going to pick first? Oh, man. Yep. New strategy for the Duck?
Uh-huh.
Where are you going for our first game? The Chargers hosting the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
So right off the back, we are taking a different pick. I'm taking the Chargers. The Chiefs are a 3-point. The Chargers are a 3-point underdog. I'm willing to take that. They'll go over that. Oh, look at Duck getting the paper already.
We ain't messing around. We're getting right in it because I think this might be. I mean, we've already done 8 before, so I don't know if we'll break that again.
I don't know. But, all right, I'm up next. The Cleveland Browns, really COVID-stricken right now, going against the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm still convinced the Browns win this game. The Raiders are favored, by the way.
I know, I saw that too.
But I think that has everything to do with this COVID protocol.
Yeah, they actually pulled them off too.
But I'm going Browns still. I'm probably writing you for the Browns as well.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll ever not pick the Browns.
No, I think there was once.
Next up, we have
Maybe
the Indianapolis Colts hosting the New England Patriots. Ducks pick first. The Colts are actually favored by 2.5.
I'm going Patriots on this one.
I'm going the Patriots as well. You won't get me to take the Colts in this. I think the Patriots are red hot. You also get the Patriots on a bye week?
Yeah, it's going to be.
No. Bill Belichick does too much film study. No right. Way, Jose. You ready for my first surprise pick?
Oh, yeah.
All right. New York Giants are hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Your daddy's taking the Giants.
You want to give me the lead already is what you're trying to do this week?
I'm taking the in-division game. I want you to understand how crazy this pick is real quick, okay? The Giants are, or the Cowboys are favored by 10.5. Yeah. 10.5. What I see is the Giants here. I see them getting a little healthier. I love seeing Saquon play, even if Mike Glennon's there playing, but I feel like giving Duck a free win, so I'm going to take the Giants. I have, you know, he said he didn't. Maybe he gave me his gut, and I'm trusting it too much.
I think we're flip flopping on our decisions. You know, beginning of the year I made some outrageous ones, and now it's your turn, I guess. So I'm going Dallas on this.
Yeah, I already wrote you down on that one. You were laughing too much. There's no way. Like, yeah. No way. Now, if I win this one, this is the one that puts me on the map.
I already got that with a check mark. That game's check marked already, okay?
Oh, okay. Now this is the game the Lions want. The Jacksonville Jaguars are hosting the Houston Texans. 2-11 teams. Oh, one of them has to win. So the Lions are happy.
Tied, still good. Right?
Oh yeah, even if they tie. Oh no, tie would be pretty bad still. That's potential that we could. No. They got one of them got to win.
Oh, this is ugly. What? Am I picking first?
Yeah.
I'm going Jacksonville, I guess. I'll go home team. I don't know.
I'm going the anti-Urban Myers team. I'm going the Texans. Even the Texans have like this like problem culturally.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think they're a better team than the Jacksonville Jaguars cultural.
It's a coin flip. I'm going there. Jags are favored for the first time this year, probably. So I'll go with the favorite team.
Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Tennessee Titans. We talked about how high the Tennessee Titans are, and they're not even in the top 10, right? They're a good team, but you know what they don't do? They don't beat mediocre teams that they should beat. And it's in Pittsburgh, so I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, you know I'm writing this one down, so you put me down for the Titans on this game. I think they're going to see, you know, where they're favored in the rankings. They're going to be seeing where they're putting in the rankings. And I think they're going to take that to heart.
I also think this has everything to do with that you can't take Pittsburgh, which is another reason why I feel good about taking Pittsburgh. Because Pittsburgh could be favored in this one, and you'd be like, I'm not taking Pittsburgh. Not happening in my house.
Pittsburgh can be playing Jags, and I'd still pick the Jags, okay? So, yes, we're going with Titans, but I feel the Titans are favored to win this game, and it's in Pittsburgh.
Whatever you got to say to make yourself sleep better at night is fine with me, buddy.
Titans all the way.
Whatever you got to say.
We're already at 4 differences, okay?
Next up, we have Ducks pick of the Miami Dolphins hosting the New York Jet-a-roonies.
Yeah, Dolphins.
I was hoping you would take the Jets. Because I'm taking the Dolphins as well.
Oh, that's a funny joke. That was funny.
I had high hopes.
You hear this, Biggs? Listen to this guy.
All right. Do we know if Gardner Minshew's starting?
I would hope so.
Because this determines my pick.
100% why I would pick that team.
All right. So Philly is hosting Washington. Can I make a contingency pick?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Can we
hold on? Let's see if we can find what's going on with this teams.
Both these teams are playoff contenders, but one of them I trust a lot more to win this game if a certain Minshew starts. I need to know.
Splitting QB reps in practice right now.
Splitting QB reps?
Yeah, so we don't know who's starting.
Can we make our first ever contingency pick? I mean, it's a contingency that we're making right now. And I'm writing this down. If the contingency is if Gardner Minshew, I don't care if he starts and gets hurt, that counts. You know,
right?
That counts. I picked them. That's it.
I was picking the Eagles no matter what, whether it was Hurts or Minshew starting.
Well, for me, I would like to take.
I'm fine with
Philly, but if Minshew doesn't start, I know for the record, if Jalen Hurts starts the game but gets injured and Minshew comes in, that doesn't count for me. I took Washington because Minshew has to be the starter.
Okay. Yep. I'm fine with that.
So I'm putting an asterisk on this one, and I'm gonna put you for the Eagles.
Yep.
And that'll be one potentially different. I don't even know how to mark that. It's getting a question mark. All right, now that we got that out of the way, Ducks up first. The Detroit Lions are hosting the Detroit Lions. They'd be better off that way. Detroit Lions are hosting the Arizona Cardinals.
Tough pick here.
It is a very tough pick. Arizona is favored by 13.5, possibly the highest. I like a good underdog story.
It's not happening. Arizona, 100% on this one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I think Arizona can sit all their starters and still win this game.
I 100% agree.
Because the Lions would then sit their starters.
Yeah.
COVID related.
Next up, we have Buffalo Bills are hosting the Carolina Panthers. I'm going with the Bills. Pretty solidly. I don't care who starts for Carolina.
Dang, as much as I want Carolina to win this game, which I hope they still win it, I'm picking the Bills on this.
Sam Darnold could be starting this game, and I would take the Bills. And you know how much I love him.
What is that? That would never make any change whatsoever.
For you, yeah. But for me, I'd be a little bit closer. It'd put a push him up, but maybe a point or two.
A point or two?
Next up,
it's even worse.
We have two in contention teams here. The Denver Broncos are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Duck, you're up first.
Oh, what? Do I pick who I want to win?
Tell me, gut boy.
So I want Broncos to win this game, only because.
Here you go with your gut, buddy. Gotten you this far.
Man, what do I do? I go against consensus. Gosh, I'm gonna go Bengals.
Damn it, I'm going Bengals.
I don't know.
Denver to me still hasn't beaten too many good. They really haven't. I mean, you just beat up on the Lions. You're not selling me. Cincinnati and San Fran just had a shootout. I'm not really sold on San Fran too much either. But at least you kept it competitive.
Right.
We talked about... Oh, wrong button. Hold on. Hold your horses. I'm pushing the wrong buttons around here.
Are we done?
No.
Do you want to stoke the stove? Or can you?
I can do it right after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have the San Fran 49ers hosting the red hot, and I'm reeling the Falcons. Now, I don't think they're that hot, so I'm taking the 49ers. I think they're going to need to chill and simmer down this week. Take a little Kool-Aid. Now, I wish I was picking first this one. LA Rams are hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Where are you going?
You wish you were picking first on this
Yeah.
one? I'm going LA.
Just so I can make my point that this is the week they go under 500 officially. And the Rams are going to win this game. I'm taking the Rams, but I said it from the beginning of the season that the Seattle Seahawks would not go 500. And you all called me freaking crazy. Every one of you.
Hey, it still hasn't happened yet. So
Every one of you. But this is the week.
Closer every week.
This is the week that I am justified in it. And you all can shut your pie hole. Now, the Rams, even though they're in the wild card spot, you're still in the hunt for that first spot in the conference. Only a game and a half behind it. There is plenty of time. 4 more games within the season. Also, plenty of time to just get knocked out of the playoffs entirely. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
I'm taking the Rams. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Green Bay Packers. Now, I said a lot about the Packers where Randall Cobb's a big injury. But the Packers on a bye week. Ravens getting kind of beat up. I think the game script to beat the Ravens is out there, so I'm going Packers. I'm already writing you for the Packers because I don't think there's a reason in hell you take the Ravens.
Yeah, there's no discussion.
I stole your pick. All right, so not last, but you have the next pick. The Buccaneers are hosting the Saints. I would like to note, do you know who won their last meeting?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? What do you mean it doesn't matter?
So if you were to look at this game and look at their quarterbacks only, who would you pick to win? Tom Brady or Taysom Hill? Who would you have on your team, I should say?
Listen, if I'm trying to debate you into a pick, I'm trying to debate you into a pick.
Debating me into nothing. Tampa Bay, 100% on this game.
All right, we're going with the Bucs. Mind you, Tom Brady does not play good against Sean Payton. For the record,
can be throwing it left-handed and still win this game and throw more yards than Taysom Hill.
I believe Tom Brady has a negative win percentage against the
at home.
Saints.
Okay. They're gonna smash them this time.
I'm taking the Bucs, but I would not be surprised.
Oh gosh,
if they lost this game.
They're not gonna lose.
Now, I'm last up for the Monday night turd bowl of the Chicago Bears getting absolutely destroyed by the Minnesota Vikings. That's what I'm taking. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, who else? Well, yeah. Yes, the Vikings will win this game. This is a big game for the Vikings. But this is potential of Chicago screwing up some playoff hopes.
Oh, this is some big time spoiler hopes.
We're in Chicago. We don't know what the weather's going to be like.
I'll say
right
this.
Now, we're actually getting it's 52 degrees here. Look, listen to this. I'm really close to Minneapolis. We're about an hour away from there, okay? We got 10 inches of snow on Friday night, Saturday. Today it's 52 degrees and raining.
Mm-hmm.
We had tornado warnings in the area. And we still had 5 inches of snow on the ground. Now almost all the snow is gone.
What's your point here?
But the weather isn't going to matter in this game. Well, it will matter in this game because remember that field? We talked about the Chicago field. How that turf, it's not artificial. It's real, and it always is a mess. If we have some rough weather, I see Chicago with an upset. I'm picking Vikings because I feel they're going to win. But the weather can be a major factor in this game.
Do you want an asterisk?
No, I'm just telling you overall.
On, take the asterisk.
No. There's no asterisk taken. I'm just saying this could be a lot closer game than we think.
Here's
we got
the
better
real
running
reason.
back on the Vikings side with Dalvin Cook, but injury prone. So it's going to be a game. It's going to be a close game, but the Vikings win this one.
Here is the selling factor I want. So Justin Fields played for what college?
The Ohio State.
Okay, Kirk Cousins played for who?
Michigan State.
All right, that's why they're gonna win.
Well, then if you're gonna go like that, I'll pick Chicago. No, I'm kidding.
I'm trying. Hey, I might get you.
Is this a college game? Michigan State with Kirk Cousins and Justin Fields and Ohio State all day.
It's ain't college, buddy. It's ain't college. It's way faster.
That's what I'm saying.
You pros don't miss tackles.
The Vikings will win this game.
Yeah, I tried to get you to pick differently, but with that said, that is the end of the show. Well, actually, let's go, before we do that, let's go over the games we have different. I have the Chargers over the Chiefs. For some reason, you think the Chiefs are a magical Christmas land team. I have the Giants upset. I can't even say this seriously.
I can't believe you picked this one.
I have the Giants upsetting the Cowboys. In the Turd Bowl, we differ on the Texans-Jags game. I have another upset. The Steelers beating the Titans. And then the asterisk game.
Mm-hmm. It's all based on
if Gardner Minshew starts, I'm taking the Eagles. But if not, I'm taking Washington. The first ever asterisk game. Because there's been a couple of these that we were like, well, if he starts.
Right.
So I would like to set the precedent of the asterisk game.
We'll do this. So we're gonna do what? You get 2 of those a year, or 1. So you get one pick, one of those per year.
We'll wing it by ear. So all right. You're not allowed to go above. How about this? You're not allowed to go above 2. So I get one more
2.
asterisk before
2 total.
You have to pick you have like right now. If you pick one, I could go up to 2 more. But you have to have another asterisk before I could get to 2 more. So I get 1 more, but after that, you'd have to have an asterisk game before I can move up to an asterisk. How about that?
Right. There you go. Sounds good.
But with that said, hey, this could be it. Duck could take the lead this week. This could be his week.
I mean, I did skunk you this week, so we could be up.
You did skunk me hard.
3.
This is remember that week where you had a really bad week.
Yeah.
And I think you broke even, and I was kind of nagging you a bit. You make it fun, and you were down. You were like, "Dude, I don't even want to do this no more. I'm like out of it." I went 8-6. Duck, you impressively went 12-2 this week.
12-2,
super impressed. Like I don't think either of us has like fully gone perfect in a week. No, but 12-2 is really impressive. I have to give Duck some mad kudos. Still not as good as me overall.
Ooh. Yes.
But it's about consistency, baby.
We'll see next week, right?
I'm curious to know what percentage I am right, So I am right, the majority of the time.
Are you?
I mean, the record above me would say so. 117 to 74.
I'll let you think.
With that said, that is the end of the show. We really thank everyone for coming out. If you're here live, we really appreciate it. Even if you just stop by, we're really sorry if we missed something in chat. Really focused on the content. We will be moving platforms soon. I'm going to officially say this now. We will be moving. We might do a dual cast where we stream to both, but I'm pretty sure we're just going to be solely switching to YouTube soon. So if you are not subscribed to the YouTube, please go subscribe to the YouTube at DukNilla. Just look up DukNilla. You will see us there. You'll see the logo that's right over here. Make sure you slap subscribe to that so you can see our content every day. The videos will be immediately uploaded, so no more waiting till the next. You don't have to wait for James to hopefully upload it on time. It'll be there. So it's going to be a great time. With that said, we really appreciate each and every one of you if you watch the VODs, however you watch our content. Again, thank you. We'll see you guys.
Much appreciated.
Next Tuesday on time this time, hopefully.
Yes.
Unless we decide to move. Oh, have we decided to officially move it to Wednesday?
I don't think so. I think we need to talk about that and see.
We'll if you don't see us Tuesday, we will be here Wednesday. With that said, but again,
check our
good night.
socials. It'll be out there. Discord as well.
Mm-hmm. With that said, good night, everybody, and we will see you next week when I am dominating Duck again.